Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning, Rajesh. Good morning, Aditya. Good morning,
Good
Mohit.
morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Lamisha. So I think after the Diwali break, please kindly put all yourself on mute. After the Diwali, the, the, the eventful week of last, where we all had, I believe, a nice Diwali. So I thought let us be back to business and uh, talk about a very important aspect of how to make an effective business plan. Now, this is a very, very important aspect for any business, because it is always said that anything without a plan is, not something which can be seen or executed or can be measured, because uh, for measuring the progress of business, you need to have some tool, you need to have some very clear direction as to what is going to be our plan for whether it is a SME or it is a startup or any business. So today we will be talking about how to make an effective business plan and what are the important ingredients of a business plan. How do we look at our business plan, and how do we measure our business plan? Because at the end of the day, we need to measure our success and the business progress which we are achieving. And I worked for Panasonic, as I already mentioned a couple of times, and I had that privilege of learning Japanese jargons. So one of the important Japanese jargon is PDCA cycle. Now, what is this PDCA cycle? It is plan, do, check, and act. Now, so according to their management philosophy, planning is the most important aspect. We all need to plan. We need to plan effectively, and we need to actually execute our plan in a very effective way. Now, for having that measurement of plan, we need to actually work on, and we need to understand what are the very important aspects or ingredients of making a plan, and what are the areas we need to look in, and why it is important. And then when we execute that plan, we should always plan, do means do the action on that plan. So all our actions, all our planning, all our execution should be aligned with that plan. So as you know, Japanese, they spend a lot of time on planning aspect of it, because they know that if our plan is a perfect plan, we can always simply follow that plan. But when they are making that plan, they spend a lot of time and energy into going into the minor and minutest details of that plan. So this is where I think we need to discuss. I'll make it interactive, and will welcome your opinions and suggestions wherever you feel you need to discuss something. You can maybe raise a hand or something, and definitely I'll stop there and we'll discuss. And next important aspect, as I mentioned, of PDCA cycle is check. Now, checking is again, a very, very important aspect of a plan. You can make a plan, you can make a very beautiful plan which is looking good in numbers. You can always think that I'll be achieving these numbers But unless you check where you are and you monitor your plan, it may not be a very effective tool unless we are always going back and checking. So the monthly progress, as well as sometime depending on the business, fortnightly progress monitoring is must. So I think so to plan, to do, to check, and then act. We sometimes commit a mistake that we act first, and then we think, oh, what are the repercussions of this action? And then we start doing firefighting exercise, and we try and look into our challenges. That may not be a very good idea. We need to look at our plan in a very structured way, and acting should be after we have already checked all the essential ingredients of the plan, and only then we should move forward. Now, we all know business plan is a document which defines the detail of a company objective and how we will achieve them. No, so that is very simple understanding of what is business plan. And the most important thing here is the documentation of it, because many a times the entrepreneur has so many ideas, especially the startup entrepreneurs I deal with and I interact with. They are full of ideas. They are full of energy as well, and they think that they'll be doing this because of this. I'll be achieving this much of turnover, but all those plans sometimes are not on the paper. They are in their mind, or they are actually not kept in a very structured way. So there are two very important aspects of it. One, your plan. Of course, you have to present your plan if you are going for a equity infusion, or you are going to investors. You need to share your plan. To understand uh, the plan properly, and also you need to actually document it so that everybody who's dealing with the company can actually observe what is your plan. So Kailashi, can you kindly mute yourself? Oh,
Okay, okay, ji, okay.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
So
sorry.
no problem. So so that is where I think we need to focus on making our plan a very robust one, and also we need to be very clear as to how we need to monitor our plan. Now, these are the different aspects of the plan, which I thought we can have a look at it. I think most of you are business guys in your own right, but still we can so the first and the most important thing is doing your market research. How you are going to sell your product, what is the uh, number you can achieve by selling the product, and how you are going to move forward. So first and the most important aspect of making any business plan is for having a proper research on that plan, right? So if I'm a suppose a TV manufacturer, so I will do my own research that how many TVs I can sell, what will be the spike, when will be the spike, if there is a festival season, or if there is a World Cup of cricket tournament coming in. So all these aspects, affect the volume of the business. So the volume goes up immediately before the World Cup, because people, they want to buy televisions because they want to enjoy the World Cup on a bigger screen or whatever. So you need to plan your activity. You need to plan your all actions based on that market research. And that market research actually prepares you to take the advantage of, because the customer wants to buy. If you are not having the products, he'll buy somebody else's product, right? So we need to, as a smart businessman, we need to be prepared for those opportunities, to grab those opportunities at the right time, and okay, sell in that spike, in that period where that possibility of increasing your business is there, right? Then you must be very clear about your business model. What is my business model? And it should be well defined. And according to your business model, you need to create your business plan, right? Then comes your marketing planning. For example, let's continue with our example of television. Now, that the television is going to sell more in the bigger cities, and these days, even B and C class cities also have very good pickup of, because India is progressing, it's growing, so the market is also growing accordingly, and it is maturing. So you need to be very clear what is going to be your marketing plan, how you are going to attract the customer towards your product, how you are going to attract the customer to understand what your product means, and what is the new which feature you can add to your product, so that people get attracted to it too much. You must have seen a few years back, there was a product called picture in picture. Means there were two images or pictures coming in the same screen. Now, at that time, it was a very unique feature. So everybody got attracted to picture in picture television, and they started buying that product, right? So but after some time, everybody realized that it may not be a very good uh, you know requirement of the product, because technology also changed. The streaming which was happening at the background also changed. Now you can have within the live stream, you can manage your screens. These screens also were coming with the different kind of uh, capabilities. So your product has to match with the uh, requirement of the market, requirement of the consumer, the person who is going to buy that product. So marketing planning is a very, very important aspect. And then your long-term goals. What are your long-term goals? Why you want to what you want to achieve after you have made your plan, and so you want to sell 65 inches more, you want to sell 32 inches more, you want to sell or some other category. And then there are product differentiations, right? Now, I have seen, we all have seen the Indian television, from black and white TV to color TV to LCD, then LED, now 4K. So there is a evolving nature of this business, right? Similarly, in the mobile segment also, we all have seen how the mobile has evolved, right? We all need to be very clear on what are our long-term goals by making that plan, and what are we going to achieve, what volume we are going to achieve, what will be my sales pitch and target, and then accordingly I need to build a team which will be executing that plan, right? So nobody can execute a plan without a team. So this is again a very, very important ingredient of making a business plan, that what will be how I'm going to build the team. And of course, you have to consider the cost of that team. So that again depends on how much volume you are targeting, how much business you can generate, and accordingly you build your team. Then comes your development strategy, how you are going to offer unique products. These days there's a lot of innovation happening in most of the industry. What exactly will be your strategy where you will make inroads into the minds of the customer? You are going to make sure that they are going to buy your product, and they are going to come to a situation where they are going to look forward to uh, buying and investing in your product, right? And then the most important aspect is trend analysis also. So you must understand what are the trends, what are the strategies of the competitors, what others are doing, what you can do better to make sure that you are actually uh, following a particular pattern, because everything moves on a pattern. Now, there are certain industries where I mean, they can beat the pattern also. And we have seen certain new businesses immediately growing and flourishing. Paytm is a case in point. Bharat Pay is a case in point. So, this quick delivery people who have just mushroomed. We have seen this business coming up in last 1 year and taking the whole delivery industry by storm. No, Dunzos and uh, Swiggy, Instamart, and like that. No, so we have uh, all these trends which are changing. The public perception also keeps on changing. The customer and consumer also keep on evolving on how they look at the businesses. So we need to have a very effective trend analysis. What is going to be selling? How people are going to do and utilize the screens. Um, I was reading the, coming back to the case in point on television. Now, the young generation is more on mobile. They don't want to see television. Whatever they are watching on their handheld device, and mostly they are on YouTube videos and things like that. So, or they are on their laptop screens and watching most of the time their individual stuff. So there was a study done by the television industry uh, where it was kind of uh, seen that the way we guys used to look at the television, or we still spend our time before the television screen, the new generation is doing it lesser and lesser. So, so this is again a very important aspect to be understood by the manufacturer of television, right? What we all know about the case study of Fujifilm. No, they kept on producing the camera rolls where the camera vanished. The roll is no longer required because most of the cameras uh, have either digital storage, or they have moved into the telephone, your mobile screen only, right? So people are not using those kind of high-end cameras anymore. Uh, of course, there are enthusiasts, but the camera sale has gone down substantially, and the film has totally vanished. So, so we all need to understand what is happening in the, and we need to preempt. I still remember the music. If you look at this, earlier there used to be huge factories producing all these tape recorders, right? Now tape recorders are no longer required. So the person and the company has to visualize what is happening, what are the trends, how we are going to take a call, because otherwise you may incur too much huge losses if you are not visualizing the customer insight and psyche, and you are not changing your strategy accordingly. So this is again a very, very important aspect of making a business plan, that you must do your proper research on the customer trends. And then, of course, your personal resources have to be added to make it a comprehensive plan. And, what are the essentials for developing a business plan? Let's take a look. Of course, uh, the entrepreneur, a person has to be there who has to run the business. So, and the idea. So idea is very, very important, because these days, Startup India and uh, all these, you know, new startups are coming with very fresh and unique ideas. Already, Government of India, in the Startup India program, 70,000 plus startups have already registered. So India is one of the fastest growing startup ecosystem. So we come across, day in day out, uh, people with new ideas, with new solutions. And of course, all these businesses need to actually make a proper plan, so that they can present to the investors what exactly they are going to do with their idea. So the idea is nothing unless you have a plan around it. Now you need to have a proper strategy. Now strategy is very, very important aspect, because if your idea is just an idea, how you are going to utilize that idea, what strategically you are going to do, that is again a very, very important aspect. Then comes your funding, and then comes your customer. Customer is ultimately, I come from a background where there was a jargon called customer is god. So they treat Japanese, they treat customer as a god, because they know that at the end of the day, customer is the if the customer is not buying your product, you are nothing. You may have very brilliant ideas, you may have a very brilliant product, but if the customer is not appreciating that product, or if the customer is not happy with your product, or customer is not looking forward to the product which you are offering, then it's no meaning. So customer is should be the center point for your plan, right? And then, of course, what are the expenses? How you are going to, if you are going to sell, okay, what percentage will be your employee cost, what percentage will be your direct expenses cost, and how much EBITDA you will have, and what will be your post tax profit. All that calculation need to be done. So a lot of financial experts should be involved, who can actually look at this aspect and finalize this aspect. And of course, the market is very, very important, because where are you going to sell? Are you going to sell in India, or you are going to look at the export market also? Because these days things are becoming more and more borderless. So we are all if our product is such that it can be sold all over the globe, why not? So one should always strive to, first try your model in a limited geography, and then extrapolate your business into different geographies. No, so that's a very, very important aspect. So we must look at that. Then comes your sales, how you're going to sell, how you're going to, uh, what is area where you are going to be selling geographically, as well as we mentioned, you can even move to overseas countries and things like that. And then, of course, your forecasting is the main ingredient of a business plan. So you must have a proper forecast on everything. Now, what should be a good business plan looking alike? One, be as objective and logical as possible. Uh, you know, you need to be not away from the logic. You need to be very clear that what you want to achieve, and you make a plan according to your that particular objective, and serve as a guide to business operation for first month and sometime years, creating a blueprint for company leaders to follow. Now, it's like, when you are building a house, you have that plan, right? Which is a design plan, and everything is in place, which is approved by even sometimes some authority, and only then you go ahead and build your house or whatever, right? Or building. So everything needs proper planning, right? So we need to look at that. This is a very important aspect, and you must have a blueprint. So similarly for business also, we need to have a clear blueprint, right? So and we must communicate the company's purpose to evaluate the current and future competition in the marketplace, right? So that's again a very, very important aspect. We must evaluate the current and future competition, because at the end of the day, you are not only current competition, future competitions also. Because if you are trying to venture into a particular space, you must be keeping that thing in mind, that some other people or players will also enter the same thing, right? Yeah, they may enter immediately, or they may enter after seeing your success, no? That you are able to succeed. So this idea is working, why not I also try the same thing, right? So this quick delivery, there was one company which entered into this area, but now there are 5 of them, right? So they are now competing with each other. Same way, this medicine delivery companies, one company succeeded with the idea, and now there are many, right? And they are becoming challenged to all these medical shops and things like that. So you are going to be successful if you are visualizing your business potential competitors also. That's very, very important. Creating the foundation of a financial proposal for investors and lenders to use and evaluate your company, because at the end of the day, your people who are going to invest in your company, they are also going to look at your business plan, and it should actually be very clearly giving what is the financial model of your company, how much money you require to make yourself a success, maybe your financial forecast and the cash flow. That is very, very important aspect, and you need to work on that, and you need to so I think before I move forward, let me take a breather here and ask for whatever we have discussed, any opinions, any observations, or any questions you have. Please feel free to ask. Anybody? Aditya, you or Ajish, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Rajiv. Actually, in this strategy, you had put the business model. So could you please throw some light now about that business model, like now, what all should be there?
Yeah. So business model basically is, how you are going to, one, it can be a geographical, explanation of where you are going to move, right? And how your business going to be structured, right? So because at the end of the day, your plan uh, is based on certain assumptions, right? So what are those assumptions? Because I sometimes deal with a lot of investors, so they don't want to look at just mere numbers. They their next question is always, what are the assumptions behind these numbers? So if you just cobble up your numbers and present to some investor, that may not happen. So you should be very clear what is going to be the structure of my business. I'm going to be in this particular segment. This is going to be my product, and this is going to be the geographic area in which I'm going to operate this year. This is my expansion plan for the next year, third year, fourth year, like that. No, so you need to create a image of how you are going to structure your business and what will be the business model, right? Anything, Ajish, is clear?
Yeah. And is that in business model, like now I've read about business model canvas, like now there are
Yes.
9 segments, like now customer segment, customer relationship,
Right,
customer,
right.
yeah, value proposition, key resources.
Absolutely. So modeling can be any way, no? You can be customer focused, but it should reflect your entire, it should explain your the structure of your business and how you are going to approach the business, no? So that's what business modeling is all about. Yeah, Aditya?
Yeah, I just wanted to share a comment. So what happens is that, I have made about 2 or 3 business plans in the last 12 to 18 months.
Right.
And what happens is that, as a visionary or as a, person who can see through how this will happen, you need to have uh, a view of trends and market and everything that's happening on the macro aspect. At the same time, you should be able to translate that into micro and, say what will be your target in Q1 and month 24 and month 25. Only then you'll be able to look at both parts. So I think as an entrepreneur, you owe it to yourself to develop a inward facing team and an outward facing team. So, your outward facing team would be advisors, people who are looking at the macro trends and saying, okay, I had 6 months back, I had projected that this I'll do, but I'm not able to do this, or I'm able to do this for these reasons. And then you have an inward facing team, which could either be your consultants and could be people who are working with you, and your head of sales and your head of operations, where you're actually bringing down that granularity. So it's important to have both sides, because unless your account, like you said, if you don't have a customer, you're nothing. Similarly, if you don't have accountability, you are just building Excel sheets which look good for investors and look good for outsiders. So this is just something I realized, that it's important to be accountable both inward as well as outward.
Absolutely. So thank you, Aditya. I think that was a very good insight, and right from a person who is trying to build different businesses. So when we, anybody else with any observation or comment or any question? Mohitji, any question from your side?
Not at the moment that I can think of, but yes, if something comes up, I'll give my hand. Sure.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, so we move forward. Now let us come to the, who, what, and why of business plan, because that is a very, very important aspect. So who are the major players shaping business goals, right? So of course, the key team players in the company, as Aditya mentioned that in the beginning, you can't afford a full-time CFO, you can't afford sometime a full-time CEO, you can't afford a full-time CTO. So it is in the initial stages, you have to work with, these days shared CEOs, CTOs, CFOs are available. So you can work with them because they have the experience, they have the vision to actually quickly understand what the entrepreneur is looking at, and then they make the speed of implementation better. They act as a check-in point, as to if the entrepreneur is going wrong somewhere. They are quick to point out, and they are quick to actually give. So they become a navigator for you to make sure that you don't waste your time in and you don't go the wrong way. Of course, when you are doing business, you are all testing as a team. You are, you have an idea that this will click, and you are all working towards making that thing work. No, and sometime it may click, sometime it may not click also. But if you have a good set of people who are working on the project, then things become much more methodical, much more easy, and much more achievable. And what do you offer, and what are the advantages? Because at the end of the day, the customer is not so you are not actually focusing on something which may not work. So you must actually get into the shoes of the customer and imagine that what will be the that key thing which will be attracting them. Frankly speaking, when all these 10-minute delivery guys came in, I thought it may not work, or it may be a fluke which may survive for some time, but people will just test it and may give it up. No, but to my surprise, this is becoming as a norm now. No, the young generation, and especially the youngsters in the house, they are because they have that tendency that okay, if I want it, I must get it, right? So it is actually working on that thought process. We have maybe I'm old school, we have grown with a thought, okay, if I need to buy something, okay, I will think, then I will go to the supermarket or whatever, and I'll buy it maybe tomorrow, day after, or whatever. But no, this generation is, if they want to have something, they immediately need it. So sometimes it is even being delivered at a time which is less than going to your neighborhood shop. So and this trend has really caught up. So and let me tell you, this is unique for India. This is not available anywhere in the world. So I've widely traveled. I know, and it is not possible also, frankly speaking. But and now all these companies are evolving and getting into another EV space, and they are so they are EV companies which are going to flourish because of this trend catching up. So we have already seen a company like Zip and a couple of other companies who are evolving, and now they succeeded in Delhi NCR. Now they have gone to Bangalore. So like that, they are new. So what are the advantages to the customer? That's the key, and you must catch the latest trends which are there, right? And why you are in business, and why you choose and why I choose you. That's also very important, because coming back to the same example of television, now television is being produced by many players, right? But why people should buy your television? So sometimes price becomes the case in point. Sometimes the X factor becomes so curved TV, right? Or something new technology where TV can be folded, no? Or something unique, in the so 4K, 5K is now a very common thing, right? So we have seen evolving. I still remember Samsung. They kept on making the screen thin, 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 right? So earlier it used to be very bulky. Panasonic invested a lot of money in plasma television manufacturing. Plasma was very bulky, and but the advantage was that the big screen also was looking very crystal clear, and the delivery was very good. Picture quality was very good, but but it was a power guzzler. So with the changing times, that technology, all these LEDs and the new innovations, they took over. So eventually they had to close and give up that product. So huge losses were incurred in closing those big plants which were producing plasma television. So we all need to understand and evolve according to the needs of the customer, and we need to know what and how to make the business plan. Now, what are the different types of the plans? One, of course, startup business plan, which is the most important aspect. Then we have internal business plan. We have strategic business plan. We have feasibility business plan, because sometimes only feasibility study is done. And based on that discussion, we can go ahead or we can drop that plan. Then operational business plan. You know how to do the business, but then what are the different aspects of it? What are the different operations which you will carry? So that operational business plan is very important, and the growth business plan. So sometimes you have a one business plan one and business plan two. Business plan two is a very ambitious target. You may or may not achieve it, but that is to give you a push and fillip to your team that, okay, let us try. So sometimes companies come out with slogan 1,000 crore turnover target or 2,000 crore turnover target. So this is just to give a boost to your team which is working, and giving them some kind of a direction. No, so so let's look at what are the steps of making a good business plan. One, of course, you must have executive summary. You must have a business description, what exactly you are trying to do. You must have market analysis in it. Your organization and management, who are going to be the people who are going to work on that business plan, who are going to run that business plan. Your product and services provided. That's again a very, very important aspect. Your financial outlook, how you are going to implement that plan, and how that plan is going to generate the finances, and then the closing summary of it, what exactly you want to achieve by making that plan. That's very, very important. So let's look at a few important aspects of all these ingredients. One, of course, the executive summary is opening section, which kick-starts your business plan and briefly outline your key points. Then, of course, the goal is there to explain what your company does and why it will be successful, because that will give a, you have to market yourself. You have to market your company. So it gives you that kind of comfort when you are making a sales pitch, or you are making a investor pitch, you are actually able to bring it to very clearly to the other person what exactly is your goal in doing that. Then, of course, your business description. So your main portion of your business plan. Then what you will go into more detail what your company does and what solutions to bring to the marketplace. That's a very important aspect, and your business plan should carry that. Um, of course, market analysis is a very important section. You will give a detail of marketplace. You will be competing, and what are the best opportunities in your market. What is the marketplace itself, and who are your competitors. That is very, very important aspect, because I still remember when this delivery of the medicines started. So the initial companies which got into this business, they had their own challenges, they had their own struggles, because it was a very licensed environment. Drug license was required and all that stuff. Pharmacist was required, and medicine cannot be delivered without prescription sometimes. So those challenges were there. So Tata 1mg, I have been using, not advertising them, but a couple of other people are also there in the same space. So what they did was they kept on evolving. They kept on looking at these challenges. So sometime I'm ordering something which is without prescription. So they have a very clear system. Now they have kept doctors. The doctor will come on a call and will understand what exactly is your problem and why you want to buy that medicine, and may give you prescription online. So, earlier it used to be a situation sometimes without prescription, we cannot deliver this medicine. So these businesses and these companies are also evolving. They are changing their business model. They are changing their systems and processes according to the needs of the customer, according to the challenges of the customer. And at the end of the day, they have to make their sales happen. As I said, customer is God, customer is king. So you have to actually evolve and make your plan according to your customer, and you must do your market analysis very well, very perfectly. Then organization and management, answering questions like how will your company operate as a, what will be the structure of your company, partnership firm, company, private limited company, LLP, whatever. Who will be the key decision makers for you? Who will be the company be structured? How it will be structured legally? What is the management hierarchy of the company? So all that has to be part of the plan, so that anybody who is dealing with you is very clear what they are, with whom they are dealing, and what exactly they are offering to you. Then comes your products and services, answering questions like what will be your company produce, how it will benefit the customers, what kind of research and development have you already put into your company, and what results are you getting and expecting, how you will market your product and services to the customer. So this is again, and not only, so your product has to be attractive enough, your services also have to be attractive enough, and you must follow up. You must make sure that your customer, after buying the product, also gets after sales service. You must ensure that your customer is heard. It's not, it should not happen that you have sold the product and that's it. Your job is over. No, you are actually, it's a very important aspect that after you sold the product, your after sales service also has to be very perfect, so that you maintain that kind of market satisfaction, and people, they come back and buy your products, because these days in online market space, I work closely with some people in Walmart, and I know how these Amazons and Flipkarts work. um, if there is a, you can see for yourself how many are the repeat customers, because their database has all those details, right? So uh, the company which is getting repeat customers, even all these Amazons and the Walmarts of the world, they actually value those suppliers more. They give them more preference, they give them more space on their search engines and things like that, because they know that if these guys are getting repeat customers, that means the product is very attractive, and they are it is being appreciated by the customer. So that is again a very, very important uh, self benchmark, and also the all these marketplaces can actually evaluate how you are in the customer satisfaction, right? So what is the financial outlook? In this section, you need to lay out what is your financial projection. Do you have any loans outstanding? What does your balance sheet look like? What is your current asset and current liability? What is your current ratio? What are your quarterly projections going forward? How you want to increase your revenue? And you must be thorough and accurate as possible presenting your financial data, so that people trust you, and they understand you as a business. Now, I think we discussed different gamut and different aspects of business plan. What exactly should be there in the business plan? What is the advantage of having a business plan? So, but the most important thing is, and the fuel, which is required by the business. Every business is the funding. So you have to close your business plan with a pitch for funding, and that is where you must have a list and supporting data, graphs and charts. You must have easy to understand pitch. These days, 1 minute pitch or 2 minutes pitch is also something in the trend. People are trying to cater to the investor needs, so that you very clearly convey that what you are looking for financially from financiers or equity or partnership or loan, and all kind of funding, let me tell you, is available. There's enough equity available. There is debt funding, and there are a couple of companies who are into and there are different kind of instruments also available, like we talked about CCPS earlier, that is convertible, cumulative convertible preference shares. So that is also possible. So you can issue those convertible instruments, and then later on convert those instrument into equity later. So all this transaction structuring can be done by the set of people who are your financial advisors, or your so to say merchant bankers, or your shared CFOs. And but the purpose of making a business plan is to be very clear yourself as to which direction your business has to go, how you are going to structure that direction, and then the most important thing is measurement of that business plan. That we used to have a month-on-month review as to, in April month, for example, I had a target of selling, say, 100 crores, but I actually, in this product segment, I achieved 90 crores only. So why? so we used to measure, okay, why it has become 90, what are the reasons for that, how to make sure that in the next month we catch up. So in the May month, what actions do we take to correct that situation? And that helps you, scale up and make corrective plan also. So measuring business plan is also very, very important aspect. So I think we can have some questions for this segment, and any other observation, please feel free to. Aditya, any or anyone?
No, I totally agree. I mean, it's equally important that we are able to test it, also validate it with on a month-on-month or quarterly basis.
Yes, yes. That actually gives you, you can correct your direction quickly, and you can, take those immediate steps. Otherwise, sometimes you realize some people work on that their chartered accountant will make their balance sheet. So March balance sheet will come in the September next year. So that will be too late to take corrective actions. So your analysis has to be very, consistent and immediate basis, of your business. Yeah. Anybody else with any point and any observation? Any question?
Yeah, how there were 6 business plan. Could you just elaborate, like, what are the differences of the other
6 business plan. Which slide you are talking
Yeah,
about? This one, steps.
not steps, like now feasibility. Yeah, this one.
Okay. So these are the types of business plan. For example, Ajish, startup has a different kind of a business plan, right? So you need to, because there's a lot of forecasting involved in it, right? Because you don't have something to, sometimes you just have an idea and you are making your business plan accordingly, right? And sometime you have 2 different sets of business plan, one for the investor and the outside world, and one internally for you and your team, and it's sometimes more ambitious. You don't want to look foolish to the outside world, but you know that if I push my business so much, I may get 30 times 30x on revenue or something, right? But outside world may not understand how you are going to be 30x. So you may have an internal target of more ambitious business plan. Then your strategic business plan is, how you are going to strategically implement. So it may have those strategic ingredients which you'd not like to discuss with the outside world. That's your internal document, right? And then there are feasibility studies. I think that's very clear. And the operational business plan is actually how you're going to execute, who are going to be the people who will take care of a particular aspect or something. So you tag your operational people to it. Sometimes you create operational teams within your group, right? Everything you can't do yourself. At the end of the day, we must realize we all have 8 to 9 hours of active working, right? So sometime so the best is to choose the right people to partner with you and delegate things to them, right? And then just monitor what's the progress. Otherwise, you will not be able to achieve what you are trying to. So you need to have a operational business plan where you have, and then growth business plan is very clear. As I gave an example, you must set ambitious targets sometimes, which you may not like to tell the world that this is my target or something. But so these are, I mean, of course, plan is a plan, but sometimes you have to choose it according to your requirement. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else with any question? So I think we are coming to close of the time at 12:30 also. So thank you so much for joining, and I hope this was useful for you. And we have our community meeting every Sunday. We meet at 11:30 a.m. So if you're not part of the community, Mohit, you can. I believe you are joining for the first time, so you can introduce yourself, and I'll share my number here in the chat window, so that we can actually communicate, and I'll add you to my WhatsApp group.
Oh, sure. Thank you, Rajiv ji. I am into LPG business plan. So I'm basically a distributor. I cover 62 villages, half of the city. So part of the challenge was always like, drawing the numbers, getting the Excel sheet, why the business plan is not working. Sometimes, man has a limit. You can't go beyond a certain point. Sometimes the market forces are such. So I was unable to hit the target, which I was aiming at. Then side by side, I was always hoping to have another business. For that purpose only, I decided to join a business community, because
Very nice.
one person
Very
is a, yeah, that's the sole reason I'm here.
Great. So welcome. This is a startup change leaders. We have a community. So I have shared my number in the chat window, so you can WhatsApp it to me, and maybe we can have one-to-one conversation as well. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Aditya. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and wish you once again a very happy festival season ahead. I think we are already through with Diwali, and now New Year is coming. So let's all tighten our belts, and I hope everybody will have a good time in the winter season coming ahead. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
For wonderful session. Thanks for wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Bajaj.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.